So guys, now that you watched the last video, which discussed the challenges I encountered in the renovations, especially dealing with contractors, the time, the financial constraints, so different challenges I encountered. This video is about lessons, and these lessons are really going to be instrumental to you as well. Stay tuned. So therefore, do your research and have enough reserves, because I didn't plan for enough and I ended up with a bigger pit, and I had to get myself out of that pit because I had to wait for the insurance to pay out, and all those were delays, which I would have avoided if I already anticipated how much the whole project was going to be. And the other thing is always communicating effectively with your contractors and making sure that you check on the renovations every day or at least timely. Because, like I said, I was too busy with other projects and everything else that the days I didn't show up, I would call the contractors, how did everything go today? On the other end, all out here, oh, we didn't go today, something came up, this and that. And yet, if I was on my game, made sure I checked on the project every day, guess what? They would have showed up, you see? Because that's really important. So the tree was removed, everything was cut back, so level everything. Just have to mow and clean up the rest temporarily and finish up the fence. That's the last thing, and we are done. The biggest thing is also thinking about having a contract. You see, because if you have a contract in place, so even if you have to check on these particular contractors, guess what? The contract specifies certain things. So most times people literally follow the contract more than they follow word of mouth. So effective communication also includes a contract in writing, because nowadays it seems like people don't respect word of mouth. So initially, I expected them to follow word of mouth, and it didn't work out well for me. So now I know from now on, it will have to be a contract in place, and also adding a consequence in that contract, even $25. So if they say, okay, this project will be done in 2 months, and they surpass those 2 months, I might charge them $25 per week every time they're over, because then that's an incentive for them to finish up their project. The biggest thing is also thinking about quality. As a buy and hold landlord or buy and hold investor, so I have to think about long term, such as I can give you a good example about the roof. It can be even the flooring. So everything I try to utilize has to be long term. So I have a vision of long term. So think about your exit strategy. Is it supposed to be a flip? You see? So people always ask me, or they even send me all these wonderful, nice flips, which people have just renovated. And do you know why I don't buy them? It's because I learned a long time ago when I started this business that sometimes contractors choose whatever materials they want to utilize. And so some materials might not be the best material for your product, right? Or your properties. So for me, I try to do the mid-range supplies. And so for the contractor, say for the example, a good example is the cost of cement. To put down this flooring, the ceramic tile, it cost a lot of bags of cement. I can say I bought a good over 50 bags of cement. However, the price in the cement was so interesting because this is the first time I've actually put ceramic tile in the whole house. So normally if I have to renovate, it's just like the bathroom and the kitchen, and it doesn't take a lot of cement. This time, 12, 13 square foot, guess what? It took not even 50 bags. It was over 60. I know for sure because every time I went to Home Depot, it cost me a good 200, 300 for just a few bags of cement. And the biggest reason why it cost so much also was because of the price of the cement that I bought. They have different ranges. The cheapest one was $10. The most expensive one was 60. So I chose the 51. You see, so $50 a bag. Do you know how many contractors would choose a $50 bag versus a $10 bag or a $20 bag? Not many. So for me, since this is a long-term home, I'm thinking about long-term. The cement I bought expands, you see? It expands and contracts. Unlike so much cement, that's the cheapest brand, which doesn't have those components. Therefore, in the flooring, during the summer, it might start cracking. That's why you see so many driveways, they start cracking because of whatever cement they use. So if it was the high quality cement, most times it's less likely to crack. So that was a good tip as well. And also, what flooring are you using? You see, what fixtures are you using? Because everything is a different price point. So having that already planned out in your mind, if you're doing a flip, it also depends on your neighborhood. You see, what are the prices of the renovations in your neighborhood? What price points? Because you don't want to overdo it and be the highest priced home in the neighborhood, because then your money will never come back, especially if you're flipping. However, as a long-term home, my money can come back. They say normally it takes about 5 years for me to start seeing some returns for my money after so many renovations. But we are willing to hold, and that's the goal for our real estate strategy. Last but not least is having patience, because this project has been so draining and draining and draining. And I realized I was literally burnt out 2 weeks ago when the contractor called me and said they were done finally with the project, with the final finishing touches. And I didn't even have the energy to come see the project. It took me days to come see the project. That's how tired I was of this project. The small unending things were just draining. Do you know it took me another week before I started promoting this property for rent? Because then on the other end, I was thinking, so I'm gonna put it out there for rent, and then I'm gonna get a tenant who is gonna come and mess it all up. So it can be really discouraging, but you have to also think about the long-term perspective. I'm doing it to serve the community, because as much as we are renovating, we are improving the value in the community and also serving the clients as well. So when somebody comes in here, we don't know who it will be, but we hope that they will treat it as their home and show it so much love like we showed it by renovating it. So you really never know. It's taking chances and never giving up, because whatever your goal is, you'll get to it. You just have to continue being persistent. So thanks again for watching and coming along with us to watch these renovation videos and hear about my delays and my drama, everything I had to deal with, because I know some people ask me, how come you didn't finish that project already? It's not as easy as that, because sometimes you have to think about a lot of debt. You see, I don't like to accumulate a lot of debt. Some people do. So I try to plan how much debt I want for a particular project. So I have to consider my credit too. So I don't want to jeopardize my credit just because I want to finish the project early. And also the lending is tight nowadays. You see, because we're in a recession. So I can't just go out there, get whatever amount of money I want. We're in a recession. So I have to consider all that and make sure that the project is done on time and done right as well. Because you don't want to start a project and start midway. A lot of contractors are starting projects and not able to finish. So that's a big problem. So please look at all these tips that I mentioned. And please, if you've ever had an experience like I did, because this was like one of the biggest projects I've done. Normally I do just cosmetic repairs. So this was literally, we had to take paneling off the walls. We had to take off the popcorn ceilings. We had to do paint. We had to do flooring. We had to do bathroom. So we did a lot more than I normally would feel comfortable doing. So I don't recommend this for the first project, because sometimes we don't know what to expect, especially in the very first project. And you don't want to be discouraged before you even start. So try to do this as a 5th, 6th, 7th project, because for me, this is like the 12th project. So I've kind of like built up muscle, but still I wasn't prepared for it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and share in the comments below what you think and what your experiences have been